get me on the screen. I need to share my screen.
Brandon on the one side, Charles Davis. Charles, how about this rate?
Who do you got bets on who's gonna win?
Championship season of 2002, but they
yeah, I mean they have Devontae Adams. And we'll see who scores first too. That's
the Raiders and the Colts.
No, he's actually very good. He's not kind of good. He's OP.
Now the Raiders with a chance to win in their third.
No, he isn't. He is good. Good. I know, but he used to play on the Packers.
The Bears are back looking for what would be just their second Super Bowl title.
Oh shit.
Success pre-Super Bowl because they won 8 NFL titles to be exact. But as you just mentioned, looking for their second Super Bowl win, they did have another appearance in the big game. That was one that they lost to Peyton Manning of the Colts in Super Bowl 41. The win prior, Super Bowl 20, a huge blowout against the Patriots.
The stage is finally set, and here we go. Super Bowl 57 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
You wondered how long it would take the Raiders to give Las Vegas a Super Bowl appearance? And the answer? Not very long at all. Derek Carr has helped guide this team here in only their third season after the move, playing a style of ball reminiscent of their new home. His big arm and willingness to take a few risks have led the Raiders to a Super Bowl appearance.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly. And that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw his Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Rolling to his right. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Now Carr. Catch made, it's Moreau. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down. Carr to pick up a 3, and also likely a punt on their opening drive.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So on fourth down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. They'll be led out by the second-year man from The Ohio State University, Justin Fields.
And this is the moment the Bears organization dreamt of when they traded up to select Fields in the 2021 draft. One of the league's oldest teams, this franchise has just one Super Bowl championship on its ledger. Led by the electric Fields, they're on the verge of another.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. A shotgun snap. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fields. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far, and second down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. That's complete to Mooney. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he will have the Bears first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
In order to play a really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those three guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, are usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside lines.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35.
When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
So out come the Raiders.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Going right side here, and that's complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And he'll find Moreau here. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, bro?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Again, it's Carr.
And this one too low.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now, Carr again. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on third down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a first and goal.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's first and goal. Here's Carr to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to it and hold it for just a short gain.
Second and goal from the 1.
Jacobs diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson.
And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
To throw is Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up second down.
Read option, here's Montgomery.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
From just shy of midfield.
Fields, a throw left side taken in by Komet.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On the ground, it's Montgomery. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now it's Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Trevon Wesco. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here's Fields.
Forced out to his left. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
This pass on target, Velus Jones with it.
And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now, if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind, trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller.
And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
1 quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57.
7-3 the score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the second quarter.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing now is Carr. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
He'll look downfield for Waller.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's going to frustrate the coaching staff a little bit as they dialed up the deep shot, but they weren't on the same page on that play. Heck, I don't think they were in the same book. I think he thought he was going to do something else, ends up throwing it over the sidelines. Well incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking deep for Adams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Thus far, they've been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said, no, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. Here's Jones on the return. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. Throw left side, taken in by Claypool. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Fourth down, so they send out Trenton Gill. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
2nd down and 3. Carr. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
But that's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Dominique Robinson with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. And they tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jones. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now Fields. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. From the gun, here's Fields. Right side, Claypool's got it. And that's good for a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Now here's Trenton Gill now. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Dances by him. 4 yards the pickup. 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
Let's go now. Let's go.
On first down, Carr. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 39. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping him on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Down to about the 37.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he's trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Carr now to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Well, they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Here's Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown out a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Here's Fields. Over the middle, he's got the tight end Wesco.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Fields now to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Off the option, here's Montgomery.
And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw is Fields.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far. Offensively, or even defensively for that matter, they could use a big-time spark somewhere. But it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Now here's Trenton Gill on to punt.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Open man, that's Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Eberflus clearly in disagreement with that last call, and he's going to throw the challenge flag.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide, and I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things, but even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have one challenge remaining.
Throwing on first down is Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. On the move past the 40.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs and here a loss of yardage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action. Now it's Carr. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Devontae Adams, 49 yards. And the Raiders continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because giving up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Devontae Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taken in at the 3. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Offense.
Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, it's Carr. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for this secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Flush to his right. Toward the sideline. He will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
Oh, it's been unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
Carlson on for the PAT. And it's 21-3. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. On first down, Fields. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise, and start to put together some drives.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first two quarters. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw there complete to Mooney. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down. Toss left to Montgomery. Taken down at the 42.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. Man open, that's Byron Pringle complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Read option, here's Montgomery. Great move by Montgomery. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 52 yards on the ground for him so far.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Montgomery is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to at my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake, they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A good pick up there on 20 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run right here with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun now for Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll get about 5 here, so he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out, pick things up, and give him more opportunities. And he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Carr going to throw. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson, for the field goal try. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Fields it right around the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 27, Fields. Man open, here is Jones. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? Guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Fields. Able to hit his target, Claypool. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Fields. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. Another 3 on the board. He's been the lone bright spot. That's now 4 field goals.
If this offense had finished a few drives, we'd be looking at a different complexion to this ball game because right now, the trade is really wrong for them, isn't it? They're trading field goals while the other team's scoring touchdowns. That's not going to work.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 1st down, Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On play action, it's Carr. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr to throw. Looking deep for Adams. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
To throw is Fields. He finds Mooney here on the comeback route.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 11 yards for number 11.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Finds Komet on the quick slant. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
2nd down and 4. Here's Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Again, Fields.
And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, At any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. 61 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. Steps, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealing, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Angelo Blackson in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw, it's Carr. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points, and they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10.
Let's go now, let's go. It's showtime, baby.
Fields now to throw. Open man completes it to Claypool. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. Taken down at the 42.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. It looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield.
77 yards for him on the ground now on that, his 20th carry of the ball game.
There's a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
From the 50, here's Fields. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Fields.
They'll set up the screen to Montgomery.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Dancing to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and slides to a hole. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. Back to throw, Fields.
Escaping the pressure right.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got over the scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Throwing on 2nd and 8.
Fields.
Being chased out left. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Fields.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Max Crosby, his second sack of the night.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. Santos' kick is up and through, and that lead is back down to 9 now. So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, fourth quarter of this Super Bowl. And the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10. Now Carr. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
That strategy there, bringing it 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Fields. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Operating from the gun. Fields. Flushed out right. Oh, what a move. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
The partner, except for those on the West Coast, where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now here come the Raiders. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game. 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll find Moreau here. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football and be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. To throw his Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. but they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it, and that's exactly what they did.
The drive will start with an option going left. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down about the 39. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Off the option, here's Montgomery. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A potential field goal, if you're thinking about that, almost 55 yards from here as they try to get closer on third down. Now Fields. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Fields going to keep it once more. Ooh. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He was having success there holding on to it on the option, but ultimately problems downfield, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, and this is a tough one because you know you'd prefer to have your quarterback either heading to the sidelines or getting down at the end of the play. But you've got an aggressive one. He's fighting for extra yardage, and he gets stripped there. You don't need him to be a hero in that situation. You want your quarterback taking care of himself.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try to move forward.
Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. Room here to run. And all the way down to the 42. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a give to Jacobs running right. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
This one to the sideline. He's got it. A nice job to keep the feet in, but he is a bit short here of a first down. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, the guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. So now Fields and the Bears down by 5. A little over 50 seconds remaining. A touchdown could win the Super Bowl as they've got a first down. All eyes on Fields. He's got Claypool. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we're watching them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And how about this? Viva Las Vegas! The Las Vegas Raiders on top of the football world. as they will hoist the Lombardi Trophy as Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they? That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up, just let me talk. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, it take me a lot farther. Growing up.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57. And this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff, and what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Buffalo Bills taking on yet another AFC team, the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. Taking it about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
You can't help but continue to marvel at how well this man's career has gone so far. Now in his 5th season as KC starter, he's never missed a conference title game, and he's taking the field in his 3rd Super Bowl. Simply dominant, it's easy to envision him being one of the top quarterbacks for many years to come.
Throwing at the outset, here's Mahomes. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling.
That's the end of the stream. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.